Hello and welcome to the Sun Times Online DC Martini. My name is Sandeep, and right now I have with me an actor who transforms from this boyish charm to an absolutely sinister, dark, villainous kind of an avatar with the chameleon eskies and his lovely wife Teejay. I'm talking about Karanvir and Teejay, obviously. Hi to the
Oh,
two
that
of you
was
on the
some
podcast.
introduction, buddy. And I like the accents, huh? Suddenly changes, huh? क्या बात है? अब मुझे कह रहे हो एकदम like a chameleon. This guy changed. He came in as like just one ordinary looking man, and now look at him.
Okay.
This dude changed his personality. He spoke like a dude, and he kind of completely
Took
charmed
over.
us. Yeah, good job, HT.
Thank you so much.
You guys have
Good catch.
a good cat. Same way I do.
Oh yeah. All right. To begin with you, Karan. You have been a part of the television industry for a long time. Since I can actually think of, for a long time actually.
जब तुम अपनी माँ की कोख में थे तब से.
Not really. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Okay, so from Shararat to this very day, how do you think have things evolved, and how do you think have you changed?
You know, lately it was so funny that when you speak about it, that I've been there for so long. When somebody's there for so long in any kind of field, you feel like, you know what, this is my zone and I own it. Nobody's here to kind of kick me out, and you completely own that space. I was just shooting the web show of mine called Casino, and so when I did my first look, okay, as just not an audition, but like a kind of a mock shoot. So the director, the DOP, they put me in a fix, man. They said that, listen, you're looking and acting the same you've been doing for the past so many years. Like, that kind of sinister that you talk about. You need to change this completely. You need to look like completely boyish, like ekdam aisa lagna chahiye ki it's real. So that came as a shock. I said, shit, the thing that I've been working for so long and what has been working for me is now completely, I need to unlearn whatever I've learned. So I've been
Nullify it all.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a process. So again, as you say, that how has it been? It's always a challenge. You can't take your job, you can't take your position, you can't take your audience for granted. Because you need to keep pushing the envelope, because every 2-3 years there are these newcomers coming in, or there are these new movies coming in, and everybody makes their space, makes an impact. So you have to, in your own way, learn, unlearn, learn again,
Absolutely.
move ahead. Yeah.
It's like a school, I think, with each grade, you think, okay, now I know it all. Until you move to the next grade,
That's
and you
true.
have to keep learning and moving ahead. It's like a school of life.
Yeah.
The learning doesn't end. You never will ever know enough.
Yeah.
Absolutely. TJ, you tell me, in an industry like this, we're talking about the showbiz for that matter.
Yeah.
Where we see marriages happening, bonds forming, and then things just go haywire out of nowhere. You, as a woman, as a lady, how did you perhaps? The fact that today you have this wonderful family,
That's right.
and how did you perhaps
Make this family.
have the wherewithal to cope up with it all?
I think that when we met, it was a good time, because he was not well known yet, and I was just starting off as a VJ.
That's not true. Let me tell you the exact story, and then you continue ahead.
Okay.
So she was very well known in the page 3 circuit.
Yes.
She would
Other
always,
fashion shows.
yeah,
and
she would
things.
always get featured. Like, and that time page 3, like in 2002 and 3, 4, page 3 was like
Yes,
the cream.
yes.
If you were featured in page 3, you have arrived. Right now, wherever you go, you've never arrived. That's the case. And I was a very, very popular actor, because I did Shararat, I did Kusum, I did Kasauti, but I would never get featured on page 3. Okay. But TV guys would never get featured. That was the story. All right. So I got featured with her, because
Okay.
then I started going out again, and she would take me to all these fashion parties and all. The Teejay Sidhu with a friend.
All right. Okay.
Then the next time I got featured, Teejay Sidhu with Manjo B. Right?
Karanvir Bohra.
Yeah, Manjo Bohra. They forgot.
Okay.
So my name is also Manoj. Okay.
Okay.
That's my document name, and I was known as Manoj also. So they wouldn't get my name right also.
Yeah, so since the beginning, he never had this that I'm more well known than you. It was actually kind of the other way.
And I'll continue.
So we grew in our careers together since then. After I met him, afterwards he got Kasauti, and I started doing other things. And so we always had that emotional foundation. And from then till now, there have been a lot of successes. There have been a lot of disappointments.
Yes.
There have been years where we are so busy, we're never in one place. There's been years also where we had nothing to do at all. You know, you spend your time like everybody else in gyms and coffee shops.
Yeah.
But, you know, we always thought, okay, we have
Yeah, each
something
other.
good. You have someone to come home to. And that's a big thing, because that's what gets you through the hard times. That's what
Yes.
keeps you humble through the good times. So if you can get that early on, I think, because after you become well known, you'll meet a lot of people anyway. So you
Oh,
wonder,
yeah.
you know, do you really like me for me? So
Yes.
we liked each other for who we were before nobody even knew who we were. So I think that helped us a lot in the journey. That's what helped us grow. That's what helped us stay rooted, and that's what makes it work, I think.
And that's the same we try to imbibe in our children as well.
Also, TJ, you've got to tell me, you know, from the kind of interviews that you give out to the media and the way you talk, it's a very practical approach for sure. But then, you know, in the media industry, people tend to give colloquials for that matter. Okay, this person is like, she's just too brazen. She just speaks out her mind, something of that sort. How do you deal with all of that?
I think, you know, people get a little too judgmental about everybody
exactly,
else.
that's what I'm talking
They
about.
will read, I think what happens is you can give an interview and they will pick the most interesting
Yes.
thing you said and make it all about that. So what you said before, what you said after
Yeah.
doesn't feature. So I think whenever I read about somebody, I always read it with a larger perspective, that this is, I'm not going to make an opinion about this person just because of this article, because I know, I know how media works.
Yes, yes.
And I know that only interesting stories sell. So, you know, they will pick what is most interesting. So I always feel that that people need to be a little fair when you read about other people before you decide what you think about them.
Yeah. Don't judge them for what they've done. They must have done. I always say this, that there must be a second side to the story, because everything doesn't happen
Yeah.
with that intention that you're reading or that you've heard from. You know, there is always a two side,
I
and
would say
must
three
have gone
sides,
to,
right? This person's side, that person's side, and the truth.
and the actual
Yes,
side.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Karanvir and TJ, talk to me about your recent web series.
All right, so 2020 was a great start. One web series with Z5, Casino, and the other web series that we are creating called Yatra. I think that's, I'm really so
That's the one
excited.
that's going to be launched by the Godrej.
By Godrej at the La
Yeah.
Fair. That's where we're having the first look and feel, the first teaser. And we went to Nepal. So when I was shooting for Casino right now, Pashupatinath is one of the
Yes,
biggest.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I told T, this we cannot miss. We won't get this opportunity again. I mean, we'll get to go, but we're
tell
already
me how
there.
I mean, how was the experience over there? I mean, the fact that you have been a known person, you have been in the media spotlight for a long time, the fact that you went over there, you were having a shoot over there, and the plebeians over there, like, I mean, were they starstruck?
Of course, they
Absolutely.
love it out there. I mean, the
Yes, so
Indian
you
stars.
you don't realize how much of a reach you have,
Yeah.
Yes.
how much of an impact you have, and how you affect other people with your work. You know,
Yes,
whatever happened,
absolutely.
and they could have had the best day, and they meet you and say, you know what, he was the best thing that happened to me today. I met him at the temple. So you always have to remember that, you know, don't be in awe of yourself because you're an actor. You're here because you're meant to affect people in a positive way.
Yeah.
And it's great, you know, especially in Nepal, we went all over, people recognized him, and that was
Yes.
really
It
terrific.
is so funny. We went to shop, so I had this mask because in this whole Corona
Coronavirus
thing. Yeah,
thing, yeah.
exactly. So we had a mask, I had a hood on, and it was 8 o'clock at night, and we needed one kind of a hood for the next day's shoot. I said, let me come, I want to choose.
But in Nepal, what happens is at 8 o'clock, almost all the shops are shut.
8 o'clock they shut. So quarter to 8, pretty much we entered, and I'm shopping. And suddenly I'm hearing murmur.
It's like they see his eyes, they
Okay,
recognize him.
and they look at me, Karanvir Bohra. I said, okay, fine, this doesn't make any sense. I'll just take this off. I put my hood off. Oh, yeah, that's me. Let's take a picture. So it's so, you know, that's when I realized, yeah, that these guys really watch, and they love their stars, you know,
Yes,
especially the shows like Nagin. So the people are thinking that, they say, Acha, are you shooting for Nagin out here? I said, no, we're doing this web series called Casino. Acha. Where's, this is Nagin 2 or Nagin 3? I said, Arey, mere bhai, this is Nagin, okay.
Yeah. So to a certain extent, does it make you feel? I mean, do you manage to keep yourself grounded?
I don't even take that. How would I say?
I mean, because of the fact that you get so much of adulation as an actor.
It becomes overwhelming. Grounding is one thing I've touched with God's grace. I've always maintained. It just comes naturally. I don't take things to my heart. On the contrary, she tells me also that, have a little, like when you go for meetings or when you meet your, whoever your team or whatever, have a little bit of how would you say, like a not attitude would be the wrong word. Carry your work that you've done for so long, which is a fact, that you do. I give it away too easily also. Like, it's okay, no problem. I behave like as though I'm just, I arrived yesterday. It's my first show.
I said, be proud of everything that you've done
Yeah.
and carry that with you. That I also bring something to the table.
Yeah, so humility is here. I underplay it. That's what. So I need to work on that. Forget having an attitude. I need to work on this. Becoming more humble.
In one of your interviews, I don't quite know whether it was an interview, just an article that I read, that I went through. You are actually speaking about spirituality, and you're trying to not impose actually.
Impose? No, we're not.
Infuse spirituality in your children by that's
mixing both spirituality and religion together.
Exactly.
Because when I was brought up, I was very, very religious. Okay, didn't know much about spirituality.
You're from Jodhpur.
I'm from Jodhpur. Yeah. How do you know?
I know.
Okay, you read about it.
Yeah.
I thought you were too.
I'm pretty informed.
Otherwise, I would talk to you in Marwadi. Oh yeah, I find a Marwadi, and then that's it, man. This is Marwadi bubble just pops up. And then I started realizing, because my mom got into spirituality after that. Then I got into it. So that really connected both of us together. So we never picked this one Punjabi religion or this one Marwadi Hindu religion. We had the love and the liking for every religion. Really, we respect ours, but everything is on one pedestal. Everything is on one platform for us. Every God is one.
So when we are talking about making your children understand the fact that you're visiting these beautiful places with them, how much do you think that a child's sensibility is or will be able to grasp it in the very reality of it? I mean, the very essence of it.
I think you have to put it in a way that children can understand. So, before we had this idea for the show, when they had asked us, where does God live?
Okay.
So that's where we started thinking, where does he live? He lives in every holy place. He's everywhere. And so we thought, let's do a show where we explain to them, we go to places. So they see part of the religion and part of the spirituality side also.
Okay. You know what? This is a beautiful tagline. Yatra. Where does God live?
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Right.
HT broke it for us. Huh?
Yeah, you did.
Really?
You did. Actually,
because
that's
this is beautiful. Because while you ask me this question, like how will people identify with children? They keep seeing this pretend play. Nowadays, they become very popular. They're like just no-brainers, but they just love watching because they all
watching,
because
children's shows
like
on YouTube.
hey, everything is so exciting. Oh look, this. Well, you asked me, and when she just spoke about this, I said yatra. Okay, makes sense, but where does God live? This itself is a question, and would just hit not only every child, very universal.
It's universal.
Not every child, but even
Everybody can actually.
like a grown-up also would want the children to see
you
it.
don't get
Good.
too deep into religion, because then it seems like you're forcing religion, which you don't want to do on anybody. What we want to kind of teach them, what we believe, take the best of everything.
Yeah.
So to do that, you have to show them
Everything.
all these places. And we took them to the Golden Temple, Harmandir Sahib, for their third birthday, and they loved it there. They loved the monument. They knew, they said, we have to cover our heads. We said, yeah, we do. They knew that we sit for langar, we get prasad. They liked seeing the lake, and there was like fish in that lake that surrounds the temple. So it was really a good time for them. They really enjoyed it. So you can go to these places and make them fun for kids, because if your kids are having fun, then other people's kids will see that and say, oh, we want to see that too. Because
So
what
more
happens
than-
is, like even when you were, sorry to interrupt, when you were young, when they said, okay, you have to see this temple, you have to go here, you have to go here, so you feel like you have to do it. But when you want to do it, it's different, and a child learns more. They get more out of it, I feel.
No, that time maybe time was different. We have to. It was fun. You know how every generation they becomes more and more stricter. Like now, tell any child you have to do it. I don't want to do it. तब जबान नहीं खुलती थी. You have to do it. हाँ करना है करना है. And it was like
And you better have fun whether you like it
yeah,
or
you better
not.
have fun.
You know, but when we're talking about spirituality, we're talking about religion, not the Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikhs, and all the other religions that exist in the country. When we're talking about travel itself, in itself, you don't really have to visit Harmandir Sahib. You don't really have to visit.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
I mean, Pashupatinath temple for that matter. In itself, it actually, raises so many questions. If you find the answers to those questions, to a certain extent, you attain spirituality in a way.
By just meeting people, by looking at it, by being part of it, as you said correctly, so many questions will be answered.
Yes,
you know.
absolutely.
But then this concept is that they see the kind of time and age we are living in, and there's so much of Hinduism and the Muslim thing that is happening right now. It's too much.
You need
I
to
don't
teach your children.
I don't want my
peace.
children to grow up and just it's only about these two and what are they doing. Grow up with how we grew up. We grew up. I mean, I would like it was literally like a multicultural upbringing. I would do Eid ke the 30th day. I would do the Eid with them. I would fast for a day. They would play Diwali with us, our Muslim friends. And I hate calling this word Muslim friends. Also, it's so weird.
I know.
And
You have to
seriously, but we would go to the church. I met her at the church. We got engaged at the church. We did our wedding at Shri Ravi Shankar's ashram. We didn't go like a typical route of the Marwadi way of getting married. We got married in the Punjabi style. So I go to this dargah probably every month or every 2 months. I go there, and I've been going there for the past 19 years. Since a very long time. So for us,
There's a vibration there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you teach children, listen for that, feel for that.
yeah.
They will get that at every religious place they go to. They will feel that, and that's what helps you move higher in your soul's journey. It helps you to meditate. It helps you connect more, and that's what helps you get through this life. It's going to throw lots of curveballs at you. How do you deal with it?
Absolutely.
Is to have that spiritual grounding inside yourself.
All right, with that, we come to the end of this lovely conversation with Karanvir and Teejay. My name is Sandeep. Wait on the Sun Times Online. DC Martini. Thank you so much.
Peace out.